Hello, everyone. Welcome to North Star Knife Reviews. It has been a while, and we'll address that just very briefly, not going into too much detail. But, sometimes life throws you a curveball. Well, sometimes life throws you about a dozen curveballs in a row. And, things have been a little bit on the tough side lately. Not looking for sympathy, not asking anybody for anything. Okay, just trying to tell you a little bit about what's going on. I don't feel like going into details, but I'm still in the batter's box, still swinging, hitting some foul tips. So I'm not out yet, but there are going to be some changes for the channel. And just wanted to talk to you briefly about that. And then we'll do something a little more exciting and take a look at this knife. Now, also on the table here, I just happened to see these in my drawer today. And so I pulled them out. These are just some little coins that they used to give out and trade in my hometown. I've got $1, 50 cents, a couple 5 cents, a couple 10 cents from a place called Charles Fritz. I believe it was a hardware store in the 20s and 30s. And they would give these out instead of cash sometimes. So just thought they were kind of cool, and thought I'd put them out here for you. Anyway, going forward with the channel, if you've watched the channel, historically, I've tried to post things on Wednesdays and Sundays, twice a week. Going forward, that's going to get cut back. Just time, my level of energy, and quite honestly, finances, just going to not be able to do as much as I've been doing. I'm hoping to continue to do 1 or 2 a month, but it's just going to be whenever I have a chance to do it. So that's where we're at. Thank you all for sticking with me and for watching. Now let's take a look at this knife. This is actually the only knife I've purchased in about the last 3 months, and I wasn't planning on purchasing it, but the price was so good that I thought I really needed to. This is the Schrade Ultraglide Survival Knife. Not a fan of the name, but I actually am fairly impressed with this knife, particularly for the price when I tell you what I paid for it. I've had a couple of Schrade Moderns in the past, and I tend to like the Schrade Traditionals, even the ones that are Chinese made, although I really like the old US ones. But I've had an issue with a couple of the Schrade Moderns. I've had a couple of them in the last 4 or 5 years, and I have not been impressed. They've felt cheap, they haven't felt sturdy, and so I hadn't planned on buying anymore. But I saw this, and this I got for $3.88 plus tax, free shipping. So this knife cost me $4.20 shipped to my door. And at that price, I thought, I've got to take a chance on it. Now, I think the MSRP on this is about $30 or $35. Don't know that I'd pay that much for it, but on Amazon, I think when I looked, it was like $22. At that price, yeah, I think I'd probably pay that for it. I think it would be worth that. Got it from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Their normal price was, I believe, about $15 or $16, but they were having a big Memorial Day sale. And I just happened to see somebody else post on a website that these were on sale for such a cheap price. So I went and decided to take a look, and I'm actually glad I did. What we have is, overall, this knife is about 8¼ inches, and the blade is about 3½ inches. You can see I have been carrying it. It is coated. I'm not sure what the coating is, but it is wearing a little bit, but it's held up pretty well. The handle on this is a rubberized plastic. It's hard like a plastic, but when you feel it, it's got just a little bit of a rubberized feel to it, which adds to the grip, and I actually kind of like it. You have a lanyard hole. You can see it's you've got some grooves cut in here also to improve the traction. It is a 1-position pocket clip. All right, right side, tip up only. Wish they would have made it at least for lefties, put it on there, but that's all right. You know, it is what it is. This does have a little whistle and fire steel that comes with it. You know, it's not huge, but it does throw sparks. Let me see if I can do it right here. You can see it does throw sparks. It's got a little area where there's no coating on here so that you can do that. You know, so in an emergency, yeah, it would work. Now, the whistle, that's not so impressive. Here, I'll try to... Okay, not particularly loud. You know, probably wouldn't count on that to get people's attention. But, you know, the fire steel, having it in there doesn't really, you know, you don't really notice it. You know, kind of nice, just a little thing thrown in. Okay, this is a flipper, and it is on bearings. Quite honestly, I probably would have chosen washers for this just because I think it looks more like a, you know, sort of a down and dirty, get a job done in the warehouse or on the farm kind of knife. And the washers would have, you know, would hold up a little better with dirt and grime and things like that. But, you know, it is very, very smooth action. You can see, flips out nicely. Get past the detent, and you don't need to do much to just drop it shut. The blade on this, they call it a drop point. I would probably call it a reverse tanto. Although quite honestly, you know, a reverse tanto is basically an aggressive spay blade. But, you know, you could call this a drop point, although drop point usually doesn't have this abrupt ending like that. On this, you do have a hollow grind. You've got some swedging up top, you can see. The blade is in 9CR series steel, so basically a 440C, which is a decent budget steel. And, you know, at the normal SMKW price of 15 or 16 bucks, I definitely think this would be worth it. The Amazon price is 22 or 23. You know, I definitely think it's worth that as well. Probably wouldn't go much over that, but I think it's definitely worth that amount. The problem is when you're getting into that $22 to $23 range, you know, you're in Ganzo territory, which Ganzo makes some great knives for the money. You know, and at that point, you've got a lot to choose from. So would I choose this over Ganzo or Ganzo over this? Well, it just depends on what you're looking for, what blade shape you want. You know, this is very solid, no blade play whatsoever. Feels good in hand. Just, you know, may get a slight bit of a hot spot over time if you were using it, but all in all, pretty good. Fits my hand pretty well, 4-finger grip. You know, if you have really big hands, you might have an issue, but this works okay for me. So yeah, I think this is a pretty decent little knife for the money, and at $4.20, it was pretty much a no-brainer. Anyway, going forward, as I said, we'll have the occasional video out. I apologize that I'm cutting back, but just don't have much of a choice right now the way I see it. So anyhow, you all have a good day. Glad to be back. Hopefully I'll be back again pretty soon. And stay sharp. Bye-bye.